that's a thing I might
I
want.
was actually thinking, Dave, I'm glad you brought that up. I was actually thinking about doing something for, I know, because I saw a TV ad today for Movember, and I've never done it because I can't.
I have once,
But I
but go
can't. So
ahead,
I was
finish your story.
thinking maybe like October 30th. I don't know what day of the week that is, but maybe for Movember this year, we'll try something for the pod and everything else, and see if we can't make a few bucks for the guys and do a Movember thing. We'll grow a duster each of us, and we'll get some votes and everything else and however it goes.
I'm all for that. A really good friend of mine, he was only like 34 when he passed away of cancer, left behind his wife and kids. And so I did Movember. Here's the thing. I can't grow facial hair, and my wife Katie and I, our anniversary is November 13th. So I said,
You've had lots of those, so she'll get over it.
no, like I like it's growing. Trust me, like, when you get our age, when you have a chance, you got to take your chance. And if your chance means you don't have a mustache, you lose the mustache. If But I still do the fundraising, and I donate and everything like that. So,
So we'll
but like
figure out
I
some
agree.
1420 World Headquarters here. We'll get a Movember thing going on. It's still a month away. We'll figure something out in the meantime. Dave, this week, I mean, it's NHL training camps opening up, so a lot of players are talking about contracts because that's what you do beginning of the season, how things are going to go, and on, and going public. And Justin Fields, he he says he got misquoted about saying it was the coach's fault for what's going on with the Bears this season. They're not very good, and Justin Fields isn't very good, and the Bears are 0-2, and they're not going to win I don't think they win 5 games this season. But going public it's a tough goal, man, because no matter what you say, it's going to get twisted and turned and altered no matter what to get to the court of public opinion. Are we at a point right now with professional athletes? Yes, it is their obligation to, and it's probably in their contracts, to talk to media. But is it at a point to go Marshawn Lynch and say, I'm only here because I have to be?
I think so, or just have a fucking clue, man. Like the audacity when I saw that headline about Justin Fields, I actually clicked. I see a lot of headlines, and I click on some, and I don't click on most. Justin Fields blaming coaching staff for his putrid performance. And then I actually read that article, and it was like, well, they want me to do this, they want me to do that, like, and I just want to feel the game. I just want to do this. Jesus fucking Christ. I watched the game you played, guy. You had 8 seconds. Like, I don't know how many times you got sacked. I think it was 6 or 8
Was that
times.
bull
I
rider
don't I
eight
don't
seconds?
Yeah. And then for those sacks, you had 6 seconds, like literally 6 seconds to throw the ball. The Where the fuck do you get off blaming the coaches? Run. Like after 4 seconds, if you see a lane, run. And it was gross. And like someone when I saw that headline and then like watching that game like we talked about on Monday with Justin Fields saying that the coaches were in his head, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. He hasn't won a game. The Bears haven't won a game. Like, so it's a 12-game losing streak. And now you're going to come out and say it's the coach's fault that you fucking stink.
Dave,
You.
I agree with you 98%. I agree with you that the athlete should shut his mouth and whatever, and he had a bad run of it. It's not just Justin Field thing, but there are times where you get so much there's so much data and so much going on. Like they're kids, right? Like Justin Fields is a kid. To me, he's a kid. He's a grown adult. I get it, making a lot of money and everything
20,
else.
23 years old.
24 years old, whatever it is.
Yeah, like which is a
So
punk. Yeah.
they're kids, right? And so you get a lot of crap going into your head. It's like, do this, do this, do this. Like, fuck, man. You drafted me because I was an athlete. Like, you drafted me because I was very good. I only played 2 seasons or 3 seasons in college, and then all of a sudden I am in the NFL in front of 80,000 people and betting and on and on and on. There's a lot going on in these kids' heads. Like, I get it. And for him to be to say something that was a little like blamey, is that a word? Blamey? For him to say something that was a little blamey on that side, I kind of get it. Because it's hard. It's hard. Being a professional, like, I don't know, but being a professional athlete's got to be really hard, especially when you have so much going on and your team stinks, because they stink. The Bears stink. They're not good. And the guys in front of him been there for a few years, and the O-line's not very good, and the coaching probably.
The O-line is actually very good. Like, Fields
he's been sacked 110 times in 2.
But that's on him. But
Well,
that's
all on
on him. Like I wish.
So then why did they draft him that high?
I don't know, because he has the mobility, he has some intangibles, obviously. But like, honestly, if you would have watched this game, because I never watched Bears game, I watched it like once again. I was watching 7 games at the same time, but I was paying attention to this game because I was watching with my buddy who's a Bears fan. And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he's like, I hear you. Like, I talked about it on Monday. Like, the Burrows gets rid of it in under 3 seconds every time. Fields had I shit you
But
not.
they're both 0-2, so who gives a fuck?
But Fields had 7 seconds to throw this ball, and then he would get sacked. It wasn't a bull rush right in his face. It wasn't that kind of shit. It was bad decision making. It's either throw it away or run. And then that fucking bullshit interception he threw on the 2-yard line was awful. He was fucking awful. Give me Gardner Minshew over Justin Fields.
Okay, no, I could give a fuck about I could give a fuck Justin Fields. I could give a fuck. Who cares? Who are these fucking guys drafting these guys who aren't very good then?
I think they see a skill set, and
so who's at fault? Who's at fault then, Dave? Who's at fault? The organization or the player? Players play.
No.
The player's gonna play. That was Shake It Off. Fucking Swifty. Players gonna play. That's all they know. They don't know any better. They don't know any better.
Justin Fields wasn't playing. Like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't watch many Bears games down the stretch, but they said Justin Fields was ready to make it, and he did rush for a lot of yards. And at the end of last year, but this year, he might be in his own head, and he's the athlete, and he has to stand by it. If he wants a second contract, he better figure this fucking thing out. That's not the OC.
So who's the idiot here?
Justin Fields is the idiot.
Maybe he's not that good. He's like, all right, fuck, I'll play.
Yeah.
Whatever, draft me. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
But everything I read because
he has an opportunity now to make a ton of money, but maybe in his own head he's like, fuck me. I played college football, and now I'm fucking in the NFL, and I'm not that good. I only played fucking 15 games.
But I don't think he thinks he ain't that good. I think he's looking to blame people. It's not my fault. I got a shitty O-line. I got shitty receivers. I got a shitty red back. Like, he only said
he only said coaches. He didn't blame his teammates.
No, but but what's next, right? Like, he plays like a piece of shit. Like I said, I've never watched a Bears game in the last couple of years, but I did watch this one. He's fucking terrible. I'd way rather have Russ Wilson than Justin Fields right now. He's that bad. He's fucking
Well,
awful.
I understand that. Like I get that. Like, and I don't give a fuck either way. Like I know James, my wife's brother is a big Bears fan. He had high hopes and everything else. And I watched the game a lot. Actually, this time last year, Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, I was like, hey, this guy isn't bad because they actually won a game. Like, hey, this guy's pretty good. He was scrambling and rambling and fumbling and bumbling and whatever. They won that day. I was like, geez, he's not bad. But I don't understand like how these talking heads, not talking heads, but these coaches and GMs and scouts and whatever, and it's not just football. How these guys can be like cohesively, how they can be one so wrong on a player. It can't be just the player. It can't be.
I struggle all the time with that as well. Like, how can you see the player, like whether it be hockey and hockey and football are the two that I follow the most.
Because
Like,
that's the only
obviously,
because that's the only ones because you play in the minor leagues, you forgot about you go to college baseball, you forgot about, and all of a sudden these guys are playing, right?
right.
And so nobody follows like in our vantage point, we don't follow college baseball or we don't follow the minor leagues. We don't.
Right.
Right.
Like,
So
and so
that's what it is.
how can you miss, right? Like, how do you miss? Like, you're watching these, like, how many quarterbacks miss? Like, every fucking, like, I would say in the first round of quarterbacks, I don't know the stats. I would say, like, you're on an 80% miss rate. Like, everybody fucking misses. And then you see someone like, we'll go way back. Tom Brady was a fourth round draft pick, and now Brock Purdy was the single last player picked in a draft. And then you got fuckers like Fields, you got fuckers like Darnold, you got fuckers like even like who's the motherfucker in New York, and then you got Kyler Murray,
Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
for the
like
Jets.
I don't it's
who they gave 20 million bucks to, and then they said, yeah, you're not very good, we're going to go out and spend 80 million bucks on Aaron Rodgers, so they're spending 100 million bucks on quarterbacks to not do anything.
Yeah, and then like even Arizona the year just before, they had that Rosen kid, I think it was his name, and they traded him and he's out of the fucking league. Denver had the guy they traded to Seattle in the Krusty trade, and now he doesn't get a rep. Like, it's
amazing.
ridiculous.
It's absolutely amazing to me how the management pushes the blame on a kid, and the kid's like, I'm maybe I just wasn't that good, right?
I do not get it. Like, and I do not.
Like, no one's gonna say no. No,
but then,
that's too much money.
They were talking.
I
was watching today, and then there's a receiver on San Fran who was drafted in the 6th round, and how great he is, and he's awesome, and like he's a wide receiver that was drafted in the 6th round, and you guys are raving about him, and the San Francisco front office fucking had JD Lance. Who's the fucker that? What's his name?
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. That's in Dallas.
Overall, drafted up to pick him.
Yeah, and you traded picks for him, but your ass got saved because now you're paying league minimum on Brock Purdy.
Like you look at, we'll get back to what we're talking about a little bit here, Dave. But you look at how these guys are coddled and whatever. And sometimes guys aren't that good, and they're told that they're great. And like we're talking, it's insane to me that you have a Chicago Bears quarterback in the National Football League that play for Ohio State, and you have these guys that are great in college. And then you get to the National Hockey League, and it's the exact same thing. They're good players in junior hockey, and on it goes. And the back talking and I need this and I bad mouthing this. And right now with NHL training camps opening up right now, there's a lot of guys under contract for this year who are going into next year land not being signed, so they might get traded mid-season, on and on it goes. It's astonishing to me that more guys actually don't talk about especially with media nowadays, that they don't talk about what they want from their team. Okay, I want to win. I ask for this much money and I want to play here forever. I don't understand why players don't get on the court of public opinion more and get on the fan side more on that situation. You know what I'm getting at?
I kind of do, and then like what, as we were talking about with the draft and like hockey and football are kind of on the same, but on the different thing. With football, it's so different. There's so many, like your coach, your line, your everything. It's so different for everything. But like like we're talking about Fields a little bit. Like it's not. You've been there enough, and you've gotten enough starts. You got to figure shit out. Like I don't know exactly what I'm gonna. Sometimes just fate gives you the place to fall into, like Brock Purdy, and sometimes no matter how talented you are, no matter how hard you're working and doing it, sometimes you just don't have the opportunity to express your talents. Does that make sense what I'm saying right
Well,
there?
what's great, like, and that makes a lot of sense. Like your talent, but it doesn't fit into the system, right? You can
Like what if Pat Mahomes, if they didn't
you
trade
can
up
skate it. You can skate a million miles an hour in hockey and have a blistering shot the point into whatever it is, blah blah blah, and get drafted by the Carolina Hurricanes, but it doesn't fit. Or you like Al McInnes, like who knows what would happen to Al McInnes if he didn't have that. Like they're Hall of Fame guys, obviously, but you look at guys that are great players, but or sorry, really good players, but they don't fit in a system that makes them great players. Like let's just say that
here, I got the like. Just let me cut you off. I'm sorry. The year that Chicago Bears traded up to get Mitch Trubisky, the Kansas City Chiefs drafted Pat Mahomes. So let's say
because
Chicago
those
did.
coaches and management system says this guy does this for us for who we have.
Would Pat Mahomes be the greatest quarterback in the world if Chicago Bears would have
Nope.
drafted him?
No.
No chance.
This guy fits
Zero
here. This
chance.
guy does this. This guy does this.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they would have found a way to fuck him up.
You go back fucking. Let's just say 8 years ago.
Brady and Belichick, Elway and Shanahan, right? Like there's
You go
two
back.
right there.
You go back 7 years ago. I don't know who went first overall 7 years ago in National Hockey League draft, but let's just say it was the Oilers again. They're not drafting a first line center because they already had one.
Nail Yakupov.
Well, he was before McDavid, but you know what I mean.
But nonetheless, yeah.
But so they aren't drafting a first line center. The Oilers aren't in 2000 and whatever year that was, 8 years ago. They needed a defenseman. So there's a kid that might have been really good, that might have been great in that system. It's so tough, and I find that I find the draft, and I think we've talked about this before. I find that a lot of teams blow it a lot by drafting the best available player instead of the best available player for their team. Does that make sense?
Oh, without a doubt. And
They do it a lot. Every sport.
Oh, and that was in the divorce years, like when we were in our legal.
He's the best. Draft him. He's the best. Draft him.
When we were in our legal separation, me and the Oilers, like I was like, just draft a goddamn D-man for one fucking year. Just draft one. and they draft all the Puljujärvi, was that his name? And then
A
they
couple years
nail
back,
Jakob. Yeah, but one of someone like Seth Jones, who I don't think is an all-world talent,
but
but it'd be kind of cool.
fits.
It would be kind of cool to have a 20-minute D-man, right? I just don't fucking get it. Like the line of thought is to always draft for talent, trade for need. But I
I'm
don't
the other
think
way.
I don't think that's the way anymore, especially with salary the way salaries are right now.
I've been
You
the other way
can't
for a
do
long
that.
time, Dave. Man, like I already have a first line center, a third line winger. I have this guy. I'll draft a fucking. I'll make this guy because actually Barry Trotz from the Nashville Predators. He said, "I will find talent. I'll go get it. Like I will get it." He said, "Get us guys that we need. Get us guys we need this year." Like it doesn't make sense how everybody just says, "Well, he projects to be good." Well, I projected to be good one time when I was 12 too, right? You know what I mean? Like I'm not just
Exactly.
like
No. When you're 18 years old, no one knows what you're going to
no
be
one
like
knows.
when you're 25, for fuck's sake, right? When you start living away, when no one's making your meals, when you got to do shit on your own, and that's the thing. It's hard to project how people are going to be when you're a pro, especially like people that don't know what it's like to have their own paycheck and have to do shit by themselves. When you become a pro, and people always forget that, it's like this is the first time in your life that you're
Away from home,
and taking care of your
don't
own
have an
shit,
athletic department looking after you, don't have
right?
on and on it goes, right?
There ain't no
A billet
food
family,
cart.
whatever
Yep,
it is.
exactly. You're not in the dorms. You're not like you gotta find a place to live. You gotta pay rent. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta get your own ass back and forth to the facility, right? Like
You're a
it's a
parent.
lot.
You're a parent, and I'm not saying Jasper's going to the big leagues anytime soon, but you're a parent, and let's just fast forward 7 years.
He's never going to the big leagues. Let's. I'm understanding
I
that.
I
Don't
have
worry
higher
about
hopes than you do, but let's just say, for sake of conversation, that's what podcasts are. If there's one city, let's say Jasper goes to Tennessee State, right, playing college, and he gets drafted in the first round, fucking gets 20 million bucks, whatever, and you're happier than a pig and shit because, well, you're done. What town do you not want Jasper to go to in the major leagues as a dad?
I don't want him to go to like immediately Anaheim Angels.
Not team wise, but just
Oh, sorry.
life wise. Like, oh fuck me, he's gonna get shot and killed and say something Ben Robe-ish and whatever.
Oh no, he is much more.
But I'm saying I'm not saying
than
baseball wise. I'm saying life wise. Where do you not want your boy to go to?
I would prefer to keep him out of the South. I like so anything like the Mason Dixon line. I don't want him there. I don't want him with the Braves. I don't want him with. I don't want him in Florida. Fuck Florida. I don't want him in Texas.
Well, there goes all our fans from those cities, those states. But
Well, we even have like two dudes. Sorry,
yeah.
Jalen
Oh,
and Garrett.
and
Like
Garrett and Jalen will probably agree with us 100%. But yeah,
yeah, like he ain't he's
Minnesota.
no, he can go to Minnesota. He can play in Milwaukee. Like he can play anywhere. Like it would be an absolute joy to watch my son play in the major leagues, and I would make all those trips.
But you'd
but
rather not.
I'd rather not.
In that one part of the Yeah, well,
Do you know what I would love? I would love him to go to Denver, Colorado, and be a Cy Young winner for the Colorado Rockies, because
It's
that's
not
my
that it's
town.
not it's a quick drive actually. So I've done it a couple times. Yeah, it's not
That's my son. That's my
driver or jet or whatever you want to do. Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
my USA town. I
I love
vibe
Denver.
with that city. I've been in there 4 or 5 times now,
Great
and
ballpark.
yeah, and I've been to LA, and I've been to Houston, and I've been to San Antonio. I've been to places. I dig Denver.
Denver's a good town.
Denver's my vibe. So
We
I would love him. That would be like perfect scenario. I would love him to be the MVP of Denver, of Colorado Rockies winning their first World Series.
is that Bar Herb still there? I know it was there about 10
Oh
years.
yeah, I took a picture of it.
Yeah.
Didn't you? Didn't I send it to you? I'll show it to you. I
Yeah,
took a.
Herb's was fantastic, man.
It was in the
I've been there
afternoon, so it wasn't.
after because yeah, we went there with Kent Hare and the real deal Rob O'Neill, obviously.
Oh yeah, we had
That
a
was that
time
we
there.
had a time. We had a time, and I was there a few years later, and there was wow, it was still it was a lot of fun. But yeah, Herb's is one of my top 10, and I've been to a lot of bars. Herb's is maybe it doesn't, because it doesn't matter where you are, it's who you're with.
Yes,
But
it was a
Herb's
time.
is a top tenner for me. Fuck me. The whole experience, the
special, and going out in the back balcony. Yeah, you didn't come in the balcony with us either, and we found Herb in the back.
Yeah, no, I was sitting with Kent on the back patio there, and he had a 24 pack of Coors Original, whatever it was, underneath his wheelchair, and we just kept there. And then fucking the bouncer's like, "Yeah, what? We don't care," because because even back then beers were like $3.
Yeah, it was
right. So like whatever.
we were in a jam, and we were like, yeah, it was a trip. Like that was a trip.
It was so awful until it was over.
Yeah, and we had
when it was over, like fuck, was that fun?
And every minute in the park was awesome.
Yeah.
It was just everything outside the park. We had problem after problem after problem. I lost my wallet, and there was a bunch of cash in my
deer
cards,
hit us on the way down, and on
deers, and like it was literally, that was the pets' heads are falling off trip. But we made it work, and we had fun, and we partied at Herb's. Fuck. We had a good time at Herb's.
When me and Dersh and fucking Oni were coming back from driving through Wyoming, and fucking we were doing 140 kilometers, which is what, 100 miles, whatever. I don't even know what the conversion is, but
160 miles per hour, kilometers.
140 kilometers.
160 is 100 miles an hour.
So we were going pretty fast. Anyways, so we were driving back and fucking through Wyoming, and this sheriff, he pulled us over, and here's my license, whatever. He goes, no, we're going to that ATM. Okay. I gave him 200 cash. I was okay, good enough. See you later. But anyways, it was fucking fun.
Just for a little fuck you kick in the ass on the way out.
Oh yeah, like we got fucked like looking back, Dave, one of the best trips I've ever had. It was awful while we were doing it, but you look back 25 years later, whatever, it was one of the best trips I ever had in my life.
It has more stories than any other trip. Like for a 4-day trip,
yeah,
and that has like 100 stories between Herb's, the Brawl, the Griffey, the stripper joint across the way,
Dirty's horny,
Dirty's horny, the van,
blown tire, the deer hitting us,
off, deer's hitting, fuck, like really. Like there is so many individual stories in that 4-day weekend.
Pissed on our feet and everything else. Yeah. Anyway,
it's
fucking so funny. Like the whole thing was great. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. This segment was brought to you by Manscaped.com. Use promo code 1420SCAPED at Manscaped.com and save yourself 20% and get free shipping at Manscaped.com today. Fuck. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, Four Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. Dave, this show kind of got away from us a little bit. We're having a good time tonight. A little beer, sports, and shenanigans kind of got happening tonight. Been a fun show. Let's finish it off with the would you rather call it a night, call it a weekend.
Okay. This one's one for like whatever, like put it in your head however you want it, whether it be the minor leagues, whether it be developmental leagues, whether it be the pros. Do you want to be the one signing checks or cashing checks?
Ooh, that's a tough one, Dave.
And
Because
think about your team. Think about the Yankees. Think about the Bears. Think about the Bulls, the Lethbridge Bulls. Think about anything. Do you want to be the one signing the checks or cashing checks?
cashing checks, obviously, because they make a lot more money. If am I a mid-range player or am I a superstar?
Your choice.
If I'm a superstar, I'm cashing checks. If I'm a mid-range guy, lower range guy, I want to be signing the checks for the simple reason you might be done next week, right?
So if you're a Baltimore Oriole, do you want to be cashing or signing? But then you're not winning. You the only ring you get is because you're signing checks. You're never going to be the MVP. You're never going to be the man. You're never going to be the bench player. You're never going to be Big Shot Bob. You're just a guy signing checks.
But longevity in the game, right? Like if you're a mid-range guy or a low-range guy, you probably have 2-3 years in it regardless, right? You're done. So if to stay in the game and to be part of the game and everything else, I'd rather be signing the checks. Is that the owner or the GM or the assistant traveling manager or whatever it is?
Well, I got it. Like when I crafted this, I was thinking the owner, right?
Well, that changes everything then.
So you're a billionaire, right?
Oh, well, that changed everything. That changed everything. But you know where I was going with that. Did you kind of go? I was getting at.
Yeah, like the GM or like
I would
you are.
rather be cashing checks because you know what? If you have money, nobody gives a fuck who you are. Like you're another asshole on TV or another asshole doing this, some corporation, whatever. But when you're cashing checks and someone knows who you are and people are watching you on TV and people are cheering for you and they got your jersey on, there is probably I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine the rush that those guys have in front of, say, like 50,000 people at Yankee Stadium back in the day, like Jeter and those guys had, or John Elway, like at Mile High Stadium, and on it goes. To be a superstar or whatever, and to be a legend for a day, you have that forever. Nobody knows who most owners are, or nor do they care. You know whose teams are good? You know whose teams are good? When no one knows who the owners are. Right.
Well, everybody, like in today's day and age, everybody knows who the owner is.
Well, it's different.
Yeah,
different.
yeah. But like, I do completely agree. Like you can to be on the field, to take the field, to walk around, to be in the locker room and take the field and to win, like the potential to win a championship. I think if you're on that field, you're going to be set for life, right? Like if you have the ability to be there and be
yes, some no, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on how shit works out, and I get that, like because clearly the one signing the checks has the most money, but now
there's people who don't like him.
Right. There's a lot of people
like a lot of billionaires. People they fuck people over, and it happens. Right. Like we don't want to get into that a whole bunch, but billionaires fuck people over. They're fucking over their employees right now as we speak, like the Baltimore Orioles with your hat on your head.
Yes, exactly.
And so, yeah, man, to be on the field of play, and I think of like you talk about winning a championship and having that glory and everything else, man, you get one shot at that. You get one shot.
To be a
Billionaires, they don't give a fuck.
to be a billionaire, it's an asset, and you're like you're happy, you're fun. But to be a contributing member of a
Oh,
professional sports team, like that's a different thing, right? It's not like it's like I don't know how team owners came into their fortune, but I'm guessing it's not 12-hour bus rides with 20 guys,
well, I'm
right?
assuming they never had a job, right? They they
That
they
I
they,
don't
they, they
know,
felt they
right?
felt they fell into things.
That I don't know. Like I will say, like like for sure, I know for a fact
They've
that
never washed dishes.
Bezos and what's his nuts from Facebook, they were uber
Zuckerberg,
smart.
whatever his name is.
Yeah, Zuckerberg. Yeah, that's her name. Like those are self-made billionaires. Elon started with a couple million, so I'll just take those
Emerald's
guys.
a billion. Actually, he was pretty okay from the start.
But like, oh sorry, so like,
He's the
but not
biggest nozzle on the planet, but that's
who's that? Elon?
yeah, he's
Oh yeah, I'm on Blue Sky now. Once I can hang out there, we're gonna switch from Twitter to Blue Sky. But nonetheless, where was I? The being on the field and winning on the biggest stage would be, I think, the best feeling of your life. I
there.
think, I think it would.
I'm a bit of a Yankee fanboy, as you know. I'm a Yankee a fan, 100%. But there was a conversation. I think it was Paul O'Neill. He said there was a home run hit in the Tino Martinez actually had a grand slam in the '98 World Series on a 2-2 strike or 2-2 count that Richie Garcia should have called a strike and we called it a ball, so it was a 3-2 count. And Tino Martinez hit a grand slam into the Bronx midnight sky. And and Paul O'Neill said when he got to home plate, because he's on second base, because he's running around, he said when he got to home plate, he felt the ground shaking. Like I
Uh,
can't imagine that feeling. Like it's something you've done forever as a kid, and you're good at it. But even when you're good at it, you're like, I'm still a kid. It's different now
yeah,
than it was 20 years, 30, 20, 30, 40
for
years ago.
sure. But like but
But
like to
the
produce
like
at the
back
moment, like
then,
this
it's
is
like,
why.
holy fuck, man. There are 50,000 people fucking jumping up and down watching me right now. Right?
And
I, I,
and
I
and
couldn't
then
imagine.
and then did George Steinbrenner feel the same? Like he went like he's signing the check and he's happy. He's happy
No,
as
it's
all
being
shit.
a player is way,
But
way from that.
being there and having like, I just fucking did it, and like
I
twice.
did it, not you. Fuck you. And that's why both of us have that same the same disdain for when they give the trophies to the owners
The owners first,
for
yeah,
the World Series and to the Super Bowl champion.
yeah.
It's and the NBA as well. Um, Hockey's the only one that doesn't. Uh, yeah, man. Like to beat no winning as a player way better than winning as
And that's what I meant. Like when I say signing the checks or cashing the checks, because like the check signer is way more wealthy than the one cashing the check. Way more wealthy
oh yeah. He doesn't
by
even know what's even happening.
hundreds of millions of dollars. But the
Tomorrow
one
morning
cashing,
he's on another business deal, whatever. He doesn't
but the
care.
one cashing the check is playing the game, and it's probably like, if you do things right, you're set for life as well. I would rather be the successful player with like
Yeah.
10 million than the owner with 20.
Billion.
I honestly would.
I would. I 100% would. Because when like, let's say Yankee centric for a second. Derek Jeter walks into the fucking to whatever fucking bar, restaurant, whatever in New York City. People are like, "Oh my fuck, that's Derek Jeter."
Yeah.
Like, oh my fuck. And he has far less money. Like George is dead, obviously, but then Hal,
But then yeah.
Hal walks in, they're like, who's that guy with the bad haircut?
And boo, boo. People might boo him.
You know what I
like,
mean?
if they
Like,
would have recognized him. Yeah, for sure.
oh man, like Gretzky and Pocklington and all, like those are two bad examples. But
No, but that's exactly the same thing. I'd way
so
rather be Gretzky than
nobody gives a
Pocklington.
fuck who the owner is when the final horn goes or the third strike goes or whatever it is. Nobody gives a fuck who the owner is. They care about their guy because people don't wear suits as their favorite team. They wear their hat, their jerseys, on and on. No,
Right.
man, to be an athlete, professional athlete who won something, I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's an excellent
I
point,
couldn't
right?
imagine.
Like no one wears the owners
No one says
fucking yeah.
Steinbrenner, Walmart.
You know, it's a fucking drag because I hate Walmart and those cunts are now the owners of the Denver Broncos now too. So that bothers me. Like I said, like I've talked to people and the divorce papers are getting looked into, but then I don't know. Fucking Walmart owners, Russ Wilson is a quarterback. I don't know.
He one of those two boys are going to be fired or released on Monday afternoon.
No, I'm going to give them week 6 because week 5 they play the Jets, and that's where Nathaniel Hackett, right? That's when Peyton called him out.
One of those two boys ain't making week 6.
It's gonna be
I'm
Russ.
telling you.
While Peyton's staying around, Russ is fired. Or unless Russ figures this fucking thing out, and I've looked at shit. Fuck Russ. Fuck Russ Wilson.
What city? Well, we're going a long time. It's fun. Good conversation. Whatever. For people still listening, fantastic. What city do you think would be the best to win a championship in North America?
I think it would be a city that hasn't won. Like, you know what? It's going to depend on the sports. If I was baseball, I'd love to win a championship as a Guardian.
Been a long time. Been 70, 80 years where it's been. Yeah.
I think that would be fucking awesome because the way
they name schools after you, like they're going to do in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, like with the Greek Freak in Milwaukee, right? Like that would be awesome too. So in baseball, like with nods to Milwaukee, and with not like fuck Pittsburgh. That owner doesn't deserve it. Fuck Pittsburgh.
Well, they've won before.
Yeah, they've won before, but like I would give it to Cleveland in baseball. In football, I would want in Denver. That's fucking trash. And you know, in hockey, I would win it in Toronto. Oh. To be the Hart Trophy winner, bringing a trophy to Toronto. Jesus Christ, oh. That would be honestly like it would. I don't know what I don't know what
you don't need a credit card ever again.
You don't even need to do anything ever. Like you can walk through the streets naked and like don't worry about it. He brought a cup to Toronto.
Here's a beer.
Here's a meal. Like
here's some clothes.
I think that would be the best. Winning a Stanley Cup.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, but yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
I don't know anything else that might be better. Would be delivering a Stanley Cup to Toronto. That would be. I don't know, like in soccer and rugby, like I don't know what it's like in Europe, but if you bring a fucking Stanley Cup to Toronto, you are the king forever.
You're a legend forever.
Forever.
Fourth line winger. Backup goalie.
forever. But nevertheless, like being like a
You could
superstar.
lie and say you played for the Leafs that year and have some sort of picture superimposed. Yeah, it's free. Done.
Without a doubt. That would be the best of all best.
I wasn't going to go there, but I think you're right. Yeah.
Of everything I just said, I think I would like to be the king of delivering a Stanley Cup to Toronto.
Because that's countrywide. That's countrywide.
That's countrywide. You know, and Toronto's a
people love the Leafs. They do. They actually do. Like
that's a city that's a city. We bitch about it, and I don't want to see it.
I like the Leafs. They're not winning this year.
I know you do, but like that would be remarkable. Like I would. Could you imagine being the man? Like whatever that play, whether you're Carey Price making that save in the Olympics, whether you're being Mike Vernon saving it in against the Canucks,
Vancouver Pavel Bure in the 89 there, yeah,
the Gretzky goal against the Flames, right? Like there's things, but to have that moment for the Leafs to win a cup
ever.
You're there, like.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but I'm glad you like. Yeah.
Bill Baruchel, and like we're not talking about a fucking tragically hip lyric now. We're talking about you're the man.
Well, good thing we don't got to worry about that this year again. Once again, those Maple Leafs are not winning Stanley Cup. Dave, fun show tonight. We went a little long, got a little rambly. Beer, sports, shenanigans tonight. It was a lot of fun. What do you got going this weekend?
The boy plays fall ball. So we got 2 games on Saturday, and then on Sunday, you know what? Dad's gonna watch some football. Gonna take care of some chores, rake some leaves. That's the thing. A bit of a drag. I don't rake the leaves in the front because the God takes care of that.
I'm going to Mom's tomorrow for a little bit to rake some leaves.
Do you do it with the lawnmower and let that do it, or are you actually?
It's a 3-step process. There's a blower, there's a mower, and then there's the things in the bags. It's a 3-step process, and it's not the most efficient way, but it's the way Margaret does it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do it her way.
I don't dig on the blower. I just put on the bag on the mower and pick them up that way.
No.
Fuck the rake. And like, why?
She knows better than me. She always has, always will. I just do it her way.
Fuck Mark.
Well,
what do you say?
Not the first time I said that, or you said that, or anybody in my life, but yeah.
I don't have her digits. Do you want to give me her digits and I'll have a talk with her before you?
553 fun one.
Fun one.
Fun one.
FUN1.
Fun, yeah.
Gotcha.
It's been our number forever, actually. It's funny.
Well, forever since you've been a kid. I'll
no, like actually forever.
Well, that's like same.
They've had the same phone number forever.
I have same with my mom. Like it's the number that we had when we were on the north side in our first house, and then it's the house my mom lives in now. It's still the same phone number. So that's honestly like 50 years. 50 years she's had the same fucking phone number.
Yeah, it's the only phone number I've ever known for the Radlinskis. It's I'm 49 now, but yeah, it's the only number they've ever had. And then when people are probably pretty bored right now, but whatever. But it's when she got her cell phone after Dad passed away, and it's the same phone number. Done.
Oh, you asked for that same number, fun one?
And she got it, yeah.
Nice.
It's fucking crazy, anyways. Dave, that's it. Fun show tonight that we've doing 2 hours now. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Take care of each other. More importantly, take care of yourself. You need you around. Keep your stick on the ice. And what else, Dave?
No swinging at high pitches, Jim.
Go Orioles.
Go Orioles.
Why
I'm rooting for you. Let's go, Aaron.
There
fucking kick some fucking ass.
Go Orioles.